coming home. I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming.
Good morning, Hebrew nation, chosen people of the Most High God, Yahuwah, creator of Genesis. I hope I'm finding all of you blessed. So, a lot of you are hitting me on messaging, asking me when I'm coming out with this video. And I have to let you know that I'm going to take you the same way that Yahuwah has taught me. This is going to be a rough night. But you can, I told you that He'll teach his own last days. So this will take you on the same course that he took me and my tribe on. And he will teach you by himself. See, I'm just supposed to get you to him. My job is to tell you who you are, who you belong to, which is absolutely awesome, and bring you out of Rome, the Gentiles world. That's my job. I just gotta get you to him. So I'm coming in here to get you. I went to him and I asked him, I said, well, you've always told me not to overfeed. Some of the people, the princes and the princesses that you sent to me, Father, they're fragile. I remember what I went through. I remember, oh my goodness, when I started waking up, I'm going to tell you what, I was so blown away. See, this is what you go through when you wake up. First of all, you're dazed. You're just dazed. It's such a shock to your whole being of the lie and what the truth really is. And so you're in shock. And then you start really meditating on what you've learned out of Yah's books, out of our Hebrew books in the Old Testament and the books of the secrets. You meditate on it, and then Yah starts clicking things that he takes you in there to learn, that he wants you to know, or that you ask him questions. The way I found out this, I'm his little girl. I just ask questions. I ask a lot of questions, especially since I woke up. And he will take you in there, and he'll show you clear-cut evidence that cannot be denied, cannot even be stood up to. And you just know that it's him teaching you. Because man is what screwed us up. But we came out of the laws. We went into captivity. And Esau, who he delivered us into his hands over here, he transformed us to what Yehuda sobbed about. To Yahuwah up under the sky at night. And he said, look what they've done to our Torah. Look what they've done to it, Yah. They traded your image for theirs. They've replaced it, and they were teaching it to our people, forcing us to it. And do you remember I told you that Enoch said that he went to Yah and he said, Yahuwah, will you not preserve the enemy? The remnant. Will you not preserve it as you promised Abraham? And he said that Yahuwah was so heartbroken at what our people had done to him and the wicked things that we went over there and did with them. To children, to people, where they lived their lives behind closed doors, where no one was looking. Worshiping false gods. We did it all. And he said Yahuwah turned his face with a smile and stared off and wouldn't even look at him. We've been there before. We wounded him. And so we were forced to Christianity. And Christianity is the religion, the false religion of Esau and Europe, the Gentiles. We're going to find out who that group is tonight. So this is going to be a roller coaster ride, I'm telling you. But waking up, you go through the shock of it, then you go through the depression of it, And then you go through straight freaking fear. I mean, it just hits you because you realize how wicked this is where you are. And then you mourn over it. And then, because he wants you to really get it, really wake up. And then he comes get you. And he comforts you. And he shows you that he has control of it all. And this is part of his plan to destroy it from within with their own. That's what you're watching today. It's all written in the Old Testament. That's why they kept us out of there. It was also part of the punishment for our ancestors, but we're the remnant. And Yahuwah said, when will you know that it's your time? Jacob. When will you know that? When it's the end of the Gentiles. We need to find out who they are. And a lot of you have been hitting me and messaging. Are you coming? Yes, I'm coming, but I had to seek him first. That's just how I roll. And I'm not coming without him. I'm not like Moshe. I'm like Ezekiel. I'm like Elijah. I'm not going without you, Father. You have to go with me. You have to go with me. So, it's a beautiful thing. Because then he just lifts you out of it while you're still in it until he comes. So, let's first do this. For the ones that are just waking up, let's just go to Father first. And I'm going to pray, and then we're going to go into this. And I just want you to prepare yourself, because you can research it on your own, like I said, and he'll take you deeper and deeper and deeper, because he is the ultimate teacher. And what does a father do? He teaches his child. That's why we're supposed to teach our own. He told Moshe, tell the children of Yasharel to teach their children from generation to generation so that they won't be in bondage. Because I'm not coming out of my laws. And if you want my blessings, and if you want to be above like I have always put you as kings and queens, let me change that to princes and princesses, because there's only be one king and one queen. That'll be David and his wife. If you want to live the good life, then you have to follow my laws, because I own it all. I own the ground you're standing on. How dare you? You have to follow my laws. And if you're Hebrew, our laws are over here. And I'm going to show you that tonight. So let's go to Father. Father Yahuwah, I ask that you be with me on tonight, yeah. Whatever you say, I'll repeat it. And I ask that you help me to keep everything on course, and that you watch over them, and that you help them to absorb and understand the way that you do. I ask you for a sound mind, just like you gave me, Yah. And I ask that in Hebrew, that they can see things, they understand things the way that you do, because they have your wisdom and your knowledge to understand it. And Father, if you do that, and you just tell me what you want me to say, from what you've taught me, don't let me forget a thing, Yah, because it's all important, but it's deep. Then we can get through this. We can just keep it moving, Yah. So, I thank you for coming with me, and I love you so much, Father. In your name, Yahuwah, I thank you for it. Okay, so let's go this route. I'm going to take you the same route that Father took me. What are the difference in these two books? You have one that is Hebrew, that our Father, the creator of Genesis, spoke and had our scribes write and brought witnesses to it. It's all Hebrew. And then on the Second Testament, you have Rome. All the names are Rome. Every single one of them. There were two names that I found that were in ancient Hebrew, Paleo, and it was Matthew and Jonathan and Deborah. But the translation that we've been taught was Latin, Greek, and Rome, English. Do you understand? So they had been switched up. In other words, defiled in another language. And that's why it's not Deborah anymore. It is Deborah or Deb. All the books. Oh, and in Matthew, it wasn't written or spelled or even pronounced the way that it should be in ancient Hebrew. I'm not talking about the Hebrew that we were taught, were the chosen people. That's Yiddish. That's not Hebrew. That is their language. We're talking ancient Hebrew, and that's where we have to go to find our roots and the meaning of words here. Because they can trick you in a minute. I learned that. Okay. So Matthew was changed. Nowhere was Matthew even in the Old Testament. I couldn't find it. So those were the only names that I found that there was even a mark in ancient Hebrew. Okay, let me slow this down. The rest of the books in the Second Testament represent Rome. Let's take Luke. Luke is a Roman, Latin, Greek name. It is Europe. It is Esau. Only they pronounced it from all my studies and the documentaries that Yah had me sit through and study out of the Old Testament what he's saying, how the prophets were clicking it. Was Lucius or Lucius or Lucius. Lucius was the one I heard in the Rome documentaries, in the government, the Senate, all of that. Even down to the emperor's children. Caesar. They all had Roman names, every single one of them. Luke is nowhere to be found in the Old Testament. Everything that you find in that Second Testament leads to Rome, which is what you see today. The celebrities, the Christians, the politicians, the government, all of it are Christians. And even all across Europe, we know that now. And I had this one prince hit me up and say, well, they must know something about a Messiah because they're putting up he showed me this ancient black, or what looked to be ancient old painting of their three that laid on a cross for their sins. He was black. And I said, well, that's funny because anything can be photoshopped or recreated on a computer. Do you really believe that that's real? Are you serious, even though it goes against our laws? And he never came back. Yah will give you wisdom. He said, my people are not going to be deceived. And we're not going back into that because he's trained us to stay out of it and recognize it. So let's move on. Okay. I forgot where I was. Thank you, Mother. Okay, so everything in the Second Testament leads to Rome. So I went to the book of Ephesians and all the books to find out what they were. Most of them were Paul writing letters to Christians in 7 churches and beyond in Asia. I looked them up. They're all in Asia. They have those names. You can look those up in ancient Hebrew and I'll tell you what they are. They're Asia. So he was writing to other Christians. He was a Roman. They wanted to kill him. He was out there in the desert. All right. He has several men with him. And yet, none of them saw what he said he saw. None of them. They even spoke it. They didn't see it. And I read in I think it was a Christian pastor that said that that the soldiers that were with him said he was just thought that he was having a heat stroke, and he was just out of his mind because there was no one there that he was talking to. Some of you say, well, he was in, okay, yeah, well, so is an unclean spirit. That's what it is. Yah describes Europe and Esau as witches, sorcerers, wizards, because they do that foul shit. But what they forgot was that even Father created the evil. And so he has control over it. And he's going to hit them in their head with it, which is what he's doing today. This is what they did. They serve idols. They do witchcraft. They have blood sacrifices. It's like children, animals. This is what they do. And I had found things online about Freemasons putting there was books out there that Yah allowed to escape to let them see where this JC and all the rest of them came from, because all three of them were cut from the same cloth. Human sacrifice. It's against our laws. Period. Any shape or form. Yah said, I hate it so bad. It's an abomination, and I'll kill you for it, and I will judge you for it myself. He spoke against Father's law. He said that no one can keep. He spoke against it disrespectfully. That no one can keep. And so they came up with their own laws. How did it happen? There were scribes that belonged to our tribes. They knew the secrets. And they went to Rome. They lived there. Much like today. And they sold out. And they sat down, they wrote that. It's actually Caesar's. That's why 666 stands for Nero Caesar, Rome. That's why you're going to get branded with it. You belong to it. You chose it. I put all this on my wall. Saying, look what Father showed me. Make fun of our people because they thought that gospel meant about JC that laid their life down for them. They were programmed, much like they are today. They're waking up, some of them unwillingly. And they laughed because they knew that it was actually about military victories. It had nothing to do with JC or any of the rest of them that came up today. When they saw that they were losing our people, they turned him black, changed his name. Yahusha only means salvation. In ancient Hebrew means salvation. Yahuwah himself said, I am the only salvation coming, and there is no one besides me. I mean, what do you need, a brick? Period. He won't accept human sacrifice, especially not outside of our land, ever. Not even an animal. Our laws say it's against his laws. We all know today that that's what they do. We know that. So, and then the book of Revelation. And they know who we are. Why? Because it's the end of the Gentiles. They knew one day it would be here. And y'all said everything that they do, I'm going to turn it back on their heads. And I'm going to cram them with it. But it will benefit and bless my people last days that are in my laws. And it does. Everything they do. Every single book in there is wrong. Greek, Latin. That's why when you read, that's why you don't understand it. Because when you read a word, we've been transformed out of our Hebrew language as slaves to English. So we take that word for what we understand it to be in English. But in Hebrew, an ancient Hebrew paleo, it's a whole different meaning. And some of them have 5 meanings. Like when I found out the world doesn't mean the false round world that they told us it was. Yah said that is the heathens, the world that follow false gods and live outside of his laws and refuse to line up. Abraham went through the same thing. False gods were all around him, even crashed him and broke him. And proved they were nothing. They couldn't defend themselves. Why would you want to serve it? He said, I went outside and I looked at the sun, and then I realized that the sun and the moon are merely servants to the Most High, Yahuwah, the creator of them. And the scribes went over there and they switched it up. Much like our people sell out today for wealth and fame and to be worshipped. They really think they're gods. Yah said they're just men. And he's going to crush them. All of it. He said, eat Jacob I love, but Esau I hate. Why? Because Esau would not line up with the laws. He had to be over there with the false gods, the sacrifices of blood, and all that. Who is Esau? It's all of Europe. It's bigger than you think. But we came out of the laws, Yah wouldn't bless them. It was our fault. It was our fault. We hurt him. Made him leave his own home. So we took up with them. Much like we do today. So we gave himself to him. That's how we got here. Gad too. Reuben also. Issachar. And Yehuda sobbed when he saw what they had put to our Torah. Second Testament cannot be found in our Torah because it is 2 choices. The world and their covenant, their new covenant. The New Testament against Yahuwah's. So we know that the Gentiles are Esau in Europe. And someone said, no, I think they're the Arabs. No, I don't think you're right. That would be Ishmael. God said he was going to bless that tribe because it was the descendants of Abraham. And he has. It was Ishmael. Which means God hears. Yah hears. It was Esau in Europe. Who is Yah? And he's going to use Jacob. Yasharel, because they changed his name to Yasharel. That means all the 12 tribes. Which actually in ancient Hebrew means to contend with Yahuwah. And that is what our people have done. He changed his name. He's going to use them. It's called Jacob's trouble. Yasharel's trouble. And it's going to come down on Europe. And the ones that he's going to use are the ones that refuse to line up. How do I know that? Because there were fallen angels that were not doing what Yah told him to do. So he called him court with all the other judges. He said, I'm going to take your mortality from you. Excuse my throat, it's dry. I'm going to take your mortality from you. I'm going to do it myself. And you're going to die. Princes. Who are the princes? The ones that Yah will use. Like a sledgehammer against Europe. When they wake up. There's like, I remember something over there that said that don't weep because the tribe of Yehuda is coming, for he's born out of the seed of David. They got you thinking that it's one of them that laid their life down for you. It's actually you and your King David. You're the princes. He's not even spoken of in our books. You would think that Father would speak of him. He would not, because he's a human sacrifice. And he was innocent from what we understand. Righteous. We know that in Ezekiel 18, Yah said, you're twisted. If you think that I would do such a thing. No, you're going to pay for your own shit. Over and over and over again in the Old Testament. He tells you, I'm going to judge you on it all. Ours over here was not paid for by innocent blood. It was a contract between Father and Abraham. And the feasts are what we get. In the Day of Atonement, we fast. And we take away things that, like, don't get on the phone. And you realize what you've done where you came out of the law through the year of that Passover covenant, 12 months. From sun up to sundown, no food, no water. You fast. That's your punishment. And at sundown, it's forgiven. You start over for the next 12 months. If you follow the rest of them. And I had a prince say, well, Zekiah, we're not supposed to follow those laws till we get back in the land. Really? Because he didn't give them to us in the land. He gave them to us before we got into the land. And as soon as our people got in the land, they broke them. He told Moshe and Yahusha they're going to break those laws. Moshe's going to die, and they're going to go in there and break those laws. I'm telling you, they're stiff-necked people. They were given to us in the land. And unless you follow them, you're not going into the land. You're not going in. And you're not bringing that in here. So we know the Gentile is Esau in Europe, because that is who Yah's coming to destroy. That is who Abel to this day sobs in hell. I mean, not in hell, but in heaven. One of the heavens. Until this is over. And continually prays. Asking Father to remove the seed of Esau off this earth. And if you get in our books and you read what Yah has released to us that he withheld, and now we can have it, along with the internet, he will teach you. And you'll see where they came from. There's a reason why it's called the beast system. Where we are today. It's the beast system. It's wrong. It's the Gentiles system. And the Gentiles in ancient Hebrew means anything outside of the Hebrew bloodline. That's what tribes. It's not of Hebrew blood. That's why they call them the 13th bloodline in this earth. In our day, they call themselves that. Where'd they come from? Why is it called the beast system? Why is there all this wickedness? Why are they the way they are? It's like, I got apologies because people are saying, well, I think if you just talked a little. No, I don't look like them. We're not supposed to look like them, sound like them, or even sound like we're still programmed like them. Or y'all will start doing some stripping again. And then Kirk Franklin gets caught off with his pants off, down, by his child, exposing him for what he is behind the scene. Which is exactly what I told you. They use the same words because they know they're not cuss words for us, or profanity. It's just intimidating. They're explanation words. And we were trained that they were, and actually, all the days of their week and all that, states, names, the months. July is for Caesar Julius. Are named after false fucking gods. And if Rome is Christian, Europe's Christian, Esau's Christian, the tribe of Esau, Freemasons are Christian, your celebrities are Christians. This government that y'all hates, wicked and deceiving, are Christians. You see right where you're at. You're part of it. You belong to it because you chose it. It's your God. It's your Messiah. A blood sacrifice that will not pay for what you have done. And Yahuwah said himself, the last days they're going to be fighting against me and they won't even realize it. You don't even realize it. And you're trying to hold on and just cuddle and hold on to it. Something that Yah is killing right now. And he said, if you take companionship in it, I see you as of it with them. That's why in James, in the Gentiles books or Bible, which in ancient Hebrew and Egyptian and all the rest of them, Latin, all of them, is actually Bibliosa. What's that mean? Book of sun worship. It's not in our Torah and none of our Hebrew writings. And they took things out of them to put in that, to click it with this, to keep our people in it. So that we could never be the head of the heathen. Because we were not in the laws. We do not have the blessing of Yahuwah. Even Saul knew that. And if Saul had done what Samuel told him that Yahuwah said, the Amalek would have been killed that day. He said, because they seek night and day to destroy the house of Yasharel and remove him from the face of the earth, but I will not let it be so. He sent Saul in there and he disobeyed. That's why he was removed. Rome, this government right here, is the clay feet. This is the daughter of Rome, the daughter of Europe, where we are today. God delivers sin too. It's Rome. So we have to understand that the Gentiles are Esau, the tribe of Esau, and all of Europe. They're one tribe. So if they're the 13th bloodline, they're outside of the 12 tribal bloodlines. Where'd they come from? You have to go to the book of Genesis and you have to dissect the scripture. It's the beasts of the field that Yah created that are separate from the cattle. The beasts of the field that are separate from the cattle. if you go and you study that, you'll find that, and then go to Neanderthal, and y'all will start clicking that for you. See, that's why you can't look at everyone by their color, because see, we got whited out so we would look just like them. Because they know who we are. They know who they are. So they were trying to white us out so that you couldn't see us. So you can't go by the color anymore. And Yah showed me it's by the blood type. That's why there's so many different blood types outside of human. And I'm going to leave the rest of that. Raping us. Oh my goodness. Breeding our women was to break down that melanin. All I can do is tell you what Father's taught me. That's all I can do. And he teaches me gently. Because our minds are fragile when we're waking up. So I'm taking you gently, like he said. So you cannot look at a person and say, wow, you look white. No one ever believes that my mother was white. They don't see it. Because I have my father's blood type. I get dark like he does. And there are people, and yes, thank you, Father, because I almost forgot that. When you find out this, we're all awake. So, like I said, let's just reason it out, like Father tells me. We have hybrids within this earth that are outside of the human gene, blood type, things that they created. We all know about the Nephilim. We have those in this earth. So as in the day of Noah, it shall be in the last days. So there's hybrids within this earth. Are some of the people in the tribe of Esau human? Yes. And they have a choice. We've already talked about that. Yah has said it in the Old Testament over and over again. In Ezekiel, all of it. Jeremiah, Isaiah, all of it. Because he doesn't forgive what they did to our people. I mean, they didn't correct us, they abused us. Y'all know this now, today. We know this. And that's going to be a study for you and him. And that is the books of the Gentiles. That's why they don't line up with ours. They don't line up with the law. They go against everything that Father has told us in the Old Testament and the other books. Because they're not our books. It's the book of the Gentiles. And if everything that I've told you, I've posted this. Even about what happened with the beasts of the field and with humans. And they interbred. And were humanized. That's why it's called the beast system. That's why when Nebuchadnezzar, he's also from Europe. Nebuchadnezzar, from what I understand, just being taught what Yah took me to see, and then in Rome and everything. When he disobeyed Yahuwah, even when Daniel prophesied to him, he sent him out and made him live as a beast in the field. He lived as a beast in the field. Even then, the beast system was going on. Babylon was fully alive. And Rome was developing. How could he survive 7 years? No clothes. Had hair all over his body. Ate like the beasts of the field. Lived with them for 7 years. Until he obeyed. And y'all let him off the punishment. That's why it's called the beast system. And if you go in there, it's fascinating, but it's also going to blow your mind. So prepare yourself for that. But if you go with Yahuwah, he's got you. You'll be probably more shocked and fascinated than anything. Like, it'll just click. Everything's clicking. This is what Yah's coming against. And Asia, a part of it. They are Europe. so funny. Some of the princes, they just don't want to let go of it. They don't want to let go of Jesus. They don't want to let go of Yahushai and salvation. Yahusha. You already told you I'm the only Yahusha you got coming. Even Esau knows that. He knows that. And they even know what happened and how they got here. They're making videos about it. That's why it's called the beast system. Those are their books. And if you're over there in that, you got a big surprise coming. Because it owns you. In their books, in James, I remember, thank you, Father. In James, they even warn you to stay away from us that follow in the Old Testament. As Father warns us not to be in their company. At the Passover, in Exodus, he said you're not to associate with them because they'll trick and deceive you and take you back over there. And if you take company with them, I see you as them. And over there in James, they tell you, their people, don't have them in your house. Don't be around them if they're not teaching this. Don't even bid them a good day. These are two. You got a false god and you got the real one. And they are bucking heads right now. Bucking heads. And y'all's going to win. My Father's going to win. Because he's fed up with it. And so the clay feet is this right here. And he's going to destroy it. And nothing outside of the tribe of Yehuda. King David will rule this earth again. But him. That's in Ezekiel. Word for word. That's who he's raising up. Not yours over there. He told Ezekiel, look at the bones. Can I not raise them up? And he rose them up in front of Ezekiel. And King David, he brought forth. And he said what he spoke about him. He'll be the only king over Yasharel. He's the only one I chose. You've been lied to on, a deep degree. That's their books. That's why they're so different. When I hear our princes, they're back home. They're back in their roots. And they're still in Rome, sounding and looking like Rome. They don't have the right fringes on because y'all said it's a flower. It's tassel. He said, I want you to make them. Looks nothing like the ropes. Word for word, I just told you that. He spoke it. You either Rome, or you come home to the Creator. That's going to destroy it again. Every single one of the books is Rome. There's not a lick of Hebrew in them. None of it. And for these people that of Esau, and even our own princes say he came down and took up flesh, and he became a sacrifice for our sins. Father did, the Creator, really. Well, I got some problems with that. First of all, why did we go into slavery then? It's ridiculous. Because it's still a human sacrifice any way you look at it. So Father's going to break his own laws. He said, yesterday, today, and ancient day, the same. I do not change. My laws don't change. And I'm not coming out of them for you. So, that would be like me saying to my children, look, you have broken my laws over and over and over again. And I've been lenient on myself. I didn't bruise myself up. I really didn't do a job of myself. But I thought you would get it. But tonight, I'm going to really let you have it. I'm going to go in that room. I'm going to do it in your room. You're going to sit in the living room. You're going to watch TV. I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to beat the hell out of myself. And when I come out of there bloody and raw, oh, you're going to obey those rules. Does that not sound ridiculous to you? Be like, call my job, tell them I'm not going to be there for a week. Because when I get done with myself for them breaking these freaking laws, I'm not going to be able to walk for 2 days. Tell them I won't be there. You're going to learn something tonight. Oh, yes, you are. That does not sound ridiculous to you? What was the purpose of the ships? What was the purpose in Enoch of saying, telling Esau, I'm going to tell you where to get them. I'm going to bring them to you in numbers. I want you to get them. And then he put angels to record everything that Esau did to us. Because he's going to use it against him. Enoch 89. I want you to record everything that they do. Because they're going to kill more than I gave permission for. Oh yeah, they're going to overdo it. They will not follow my master's laws. But they do not know it. And I do not give you permission to change it, is what he said to the angels. Just write it down in books and bring it to me. I'm going to judge them on it. I'm not going to forget it. I mean, if you came down here and went through all that, explain that shit to me. Because it makes no sense. And it's like you love the lie, and you have to hold on to it. And you're going to see what that brings to you, and what it brings to your family. Because Yah said, I'm going to send them in there, in North America. And they're not going to give a shit about your gold and your silver. And they are going to rape and pillage your wife and cut your children in pieces. Because you will not come out of Rome. Word for word. That's what he said. Everything I say to you is written over and over and over in our books. And that's why they kept us out of them. That's why they had us hand that shit down to our children. When Yah said, generation to generation, you give them their birthright. You tell them who they are. You tell them who they belong to. You tell them that they're precious to me. They are my people. They are my children. They are Yasharel. School systems, all of it. We're to teach our own. Like Moshe did. Like Shimshon did. Samson. And like when I went into the book of Judges, I know that when Yah takes me in the classroom, we're going to be thorough. So I just do what he asks me to do. I go through with a fine-tooth comb and I study it. I got so sick and tired, and I even got mad, like I do today. Every single chapter began like this. And the children of Yasharel disobeyed the laws of Yahuwah again. And it talked about what they were doing, everything they're doing that Rome does today, that we know is going on. All of it. I was like, wow, this is freaking, I cannot believe this. So that's where those books came from. It's That's where that sacrifice came from. All three of them. They're cut from the same cloth, the same religion. You're just being tricked to keep you out of these laws. So you have no power. You have that for a God. You belong to that, and you will be branded with that. You already know that. Because you chose it, and you wouldn't come home. You wouldn't come home. He tells you, get ready to carry your cross. You're going to be annihilated. You are, because Yahuwah said, I'm going to kill it. I'm going to destroy it. I'm not going to give her one day past what I've given her. And ours over here says, don't worry, Yasharel, I'm going to keep you safe. And even promised Esau that those that are human, that come into this and do what he's asked them to do, that they have to do, he'll save them. Beast system. And we are told by our Father not to associate with it. Completely separate yourself from it and follow His. And He said, no man will be able to contend with you because your enemies are mine, and I won't send it near you because you're in my laws. You are in that covenant, and you've came home. You've woke up. That's why when you watch these protests, you see Issachar. Oh my goodness, you see Gad out there. And you see Yehuda. And you see a lot of Esau. As Yah said, I'm going to destroy it from within, like I did before. And He gave us the internet. He gave us back Him, our books, our way of life, the way we are. We are like lions. We are not little kitties. And we love His laws. We take to it. So I can't stand that over there. So if you love it, it's yours. Yahuwah said that. We're talking about the God and the Creator of Genesis alone. Alone. So I pray with all my heart that I explained it to you, and I told you where to go to study this at, and click the beast system too. It's all out there. He gave it to us to wake up and to expose them. And He said, which one of their gods told you what you'll be seeing today when I'm coming to get my people, my jewels? It's Issachar, Yehuda, and Gad. I lined up with those laws. We are the remnant here. Which one of your gods told you this? None of them. Because I'm the only one that spoke it to you. In our books, He said. Word for word. And you're watching it. And it's so awesome. Because those of us that hate it, like those that got sealed in the book of Ezekiel, I said seal them, kill the rest of them. The ones that hate it and sob and want to go home and want to change back to me, seal them and go slaughter the rest of them. That's how it's going to be today. That's how it's going to be today. You're sealed by your heart, what you believe, and what your hand does. If you believe it, it shows. Because He also said, I'm going to send illusions that they're going to believe. I'm going to make them believe it. And I'm going to corral them like grass. I went in and looked, once I found out what that was in Hebrew. Corral the heathen like grass. It means to fence them in. To fence them in where they can't get out. So I can destroy them. I'm going to use other nations to do it. He said, I called your name, but you didn't hear me. You showed you the evidence. I sent people to show you, but you ignored it. And because you ignored me, I will turn my back on your children when this is over. Word for word, Hosea, Jeremiah. He said, I pleaded with you. I showed you the difference between me and them. But you refused to listen and let go of it and come home. I'm going to give you to it again. But it'll be other nations that are coming in to destroy this. All you have to do is research and ask Yah, show me, help me to see it the way you do, help me to understand and pull the veil down. Lift that skirt. He will. He's doing all this for us. He said, I love you so much, I'll take down nations for you. All this is for us and our children who are virgins to this corrupt wickedness called the world. You have a choice, because a man cannot have two masters. And you have your evidence, Yasharel. They have 10 laws. We have 618. Most of them belong to the Kohen. We got way more laws than 10. You have to research on your own, so Yah can teach you on his own. And you have to diligently search him, because he said in the last days, I'm only revealing the secrets that will save them to the ones that love me and diligently search me out. How does he know we love him? Those that love me, they will strive to follow my laws, and they will protect it, they will guard it. And I will protect them and bring them up. Nehemiah said, Yahuwah, was it always meant for Yasharel to be on the bottom? And he said, no, it was not. But you chose it. And all the while, I had to watch, because I will not break my own laws. And when you break my laws and you're over there, I will curse you every step of the way that I spoke in Deuteronomy, Leviticus, in Numbers. I told you the curses that come. And I remember I came across where it said, I'll make you pale and green. I went and looked to see what it looked like in ancient Hebrew. And it meant sickness and disease. And every one of the celebrities, every single one of them that's over there, even just modern society, people of that belong to it, look sick and green. I said, I promise you, I'll deliver it to you, if that's what your choice is. And I'm going to end it. And before you get mad, hey, listen. I'm just his ambassador. I'm his daughter. I'm a princess of the Most High's kingdom, Yahuwah. Hebrew through and through. I'm delivering a message to you. That's it. An invitation to come home from Father. That's it. Remember, I told you that the water in ancient Hebrew stands for the world, this false religion. In my dream, there were fishes jumping out into my arms. They wanted me to take them to the bank. The bank, or the shore, represents those that were taken out of the world in this false religion where they knew they were going to die. and they were put on the bank. And Yahuwah filled them with his breath and his spirit alone. That's what it means in ancient Hebrew. And that's why I had those dreams of those different fish. That's what it means in ancient Hebrew. The water, the ocean, all that represents the world and its false religion and how people are dying in it. They're going to die. God's going to kill them. They don't live out their lifespan anyway because they're so cursed. And the shore is coming home to the Old Testament and Yahuwah and his laws that bring life. Following the laws and fruit, prosperity. They're all promises and they're covenant benefits of the law, the only law that exists. It's amazing to me. You can go to prison for killing a baby eagle in its egg, but you can rip a baby from the womb all the way up to 9 months. You can go home and eat supper. You gotta be fucking kidding me. We hate it and we want to go home. And he said, with all your crying, ask me to bring my judgment against those that plundered you, my people, and for all their wickedness. And the best part about it is we get to watch. He said you're going to see with your own eyes the punishment of this wicked people. You're going to get to watch it. And this world and its system. I'm going to do it in front of you so you can see how powerful I am. And that I am God, Yahuwah. And I do as I please, he says. So, and you can go into the Second Testament, investigate those names, every single book name, go through it. We don't have a book called Romans. We don't have that. Why would we have that? We're Hebrews. Go in there and research everything I've told you. I've told you exactly how Yahuwah taught me. And it's all out there. But start in what Yah said and what he's exposed in his books. And what he left for the scribes that stayed loyal to him. He protected them. That's why he said for those that came in here, like those scribes did, took from his word, put it in there, and added to his word to fit theirs. But yet Yahuwah never spoke it. You never heard him say it like he did everything else. He spoke it with his own mouth. No one can ever show me that. But Yah said, I know what you're going to do. He knew what those scribes were going to do. He said, when this is over, I'm going to wipe dung or shit on your face. He already knew. But he said, last days, he said, I'm going to teach my own. Those that diligently search me and love me. And not this false thing. And if you love my word, you'll follow my law. If you love me, you'll follow my laws. You'll love them like we do. You're home, you're safe, you're secure. You feel like you're home. And everything your soul has been searching for and aching for, you could not find over there in Rome. You just know that you are with your Father. It's a beautiful thing. I wouldn't trade it for anything. And you better believe I'd guard and protect those covenant laws. Our covenant with our Father. Our agreement to follow his rules so we stay safe. And he doesn't have to punish us. It's up to you. Because in the end, you'll be standing there. And he said, you bring all your false gods with you. All of them. Every single one of them. And you let them contest for you and say that you do not deserve what I'm about to do to you for what you've done and how you've lived and being in that. I assure you, they will not show up, and I will be the one that judges you, said Yahuwah. And you'll pay for every single one of them. So I hope this video blessed you. Father, thank you so much for coming with me. I really appreciate it. And I thank you for leading me. And I thank you for not letting me forget things. I thank you so much for it all, y'all. And I thank you that you're coming to get your jewels. And we're going home. And it's going to be over for us. Father, we are teaching your children, the remnant, the virgin remnant. We are teaching them in your word. We are teaching those laws. You can trust us with it. Because we love you and we adore you. And Father, please bring your judgment on all those who plundered your people, us. And bring it quickly, y'all, so we can go home. Forever I thank you for it, Yahuwah. My dearest Father, I love you so much. Thank you for it all. In your name, Yahuwah. Hallelujah! Yahoo! Yahoo! Yahuwah! To the house of Yasharel. To those waking up. Relax. He's pulling you. He's calling you. And he'll teach you. It's just my job to get you there. And I felt that Father was right on point. That if I show you where these books come from, what they are, you can go in there and investigate for yourself. You get a clear understanding. His understanding. You see it the way he does. You can begin to put it together. I love you with all my heart. And he sent me to give you the evidence. And to give you free choice with all the evidence against their lies. To make your own will and choice. And believe me, 400 years of slavery, oh yeah, baby, that's a choice. I'm a witness to it. Your life will blow up because you're in the laws, the very place that they fought so hard to keep us out of. I adore you. And I know Father loves you so much. So I give it to you the way he tells me. And the choice is yours, because free will is very important to Father. Because if it's not free will, it's not real love. He judges us by the heart, and that's how it will be sealed. Stay blessed. Keep waking up. Stay with it. He's got you. He's got you. And you're coming to a glorious place, baby. Have a great day. Have a great evening. God bless you in the name of our Father, Yahuwah. Until our next video, Shalom, Yasharel.
I'm coming home.